Usagi Yojimbo is a special character and is special to comic books. If you don't know Usagi Yojimbo, he is the samurai rabbit. He walks the warrior's pilgrimage after he lost his lord was defeated, and so now he is without family, without school, and he's on the Musha Shigoyo, and that is that's that path of enlightenment. He's learning to become a better warrior, and he's honing his skills, and he's doing so without the protection of a family or a school anymore, and so he goes around doing things like training in other schools and doing bodyguard work and dueling with not random characters. We're talking about a character that's been around upwards of 30 years now at this point. It's been quite a while, maybe even over 30 years at this point. I'm thinking about it. He's been around for so long, and he's such an important character in comic books, and yet there are many people who've never heard of him. It is neat when I'm able to introduce Usagi Yojimbo to a new generation of people, and I have had that happen a couple of times here recently, and it's because Stan Sakai. Stan Sakai is the man. Stan the man. Oops. Oh, I've stepped on somebody's toes there. Sorry. No, he really truly is, and he's a fantastic creator, and he's always stayed true to his stories, and he's done one thing that I've thought was always a little bit disrespectful on the part of the big guys with their long-running titles and the way that they mess around with volumes and they stop printing them and restart printing them under a different number series and volume series, and instead of just keeping the long-running series, they kind of always end up going back to them because that's what people really want. They want to be able to see that history in just the number of the issue that they buy. And one thing that Stan Sakai has done over the years, particularly over the last decade or so, but really all along, has kept a fairly continuous, ongoing story with the same basic character and structures and settings, and has stayed true to it, and has kept a numbering, I think at least since originally on the Dark Horse label of Volume 3 or something like that. That's part of my personal collection, one of my favorite pieces in my personal collection. It's actually two pieces. It's two issues of the Volume 3, the Dark Horse Usagi run, signed by Stan Sakai, but also with a little sketch on each one of them, a little Usagi sketch. So a couple really of my favorite pieces in my entire collection. There's a new one out. They're continuing the series. This is part one of a 5-parter. It's called 10,000 Plums. It's actually Usagi Yojimbo issue number 280. I think that's neat that they stuck with that. But it's more than just that sort of being able to look at a particular issue and say, oh, well, this is a 280th issue or whatever, is to be able to look at it and go, that's Usagi Yojimbo. That's an Usagi story. He's going to be wandering around with his friends. He'll be doing some mercenary work. He'll be looking to serve people and to bring enlightenment to himself, to attain enlightenment. That's the same thing that the Zen monks would do, traveling on foot, training in warriorship, just wandering the countryside on their little mission, and that's what Usagi does. And the story continues with some great new characters and an interesting little storyline about a mystery creature, some mystery thing that's going around harming people, maybe righteously, judiciously, maybe attached to some damaged and hurt and hungry and starving people that are around. It's shaping up to be another fantastic short story run. That's one of the great things about the way comic books are done today, is those short runs, 4 books, 5 books, 6 books. But I think that's one of the best things about comic books these days, is that they do often provide you many entry points, even to long-running storylines and characters like your Usagi Yojimbo. 10,000 Plums is in your local comic book shop right now. If you can't get a copy of it, if you're one of those poor, unfortunate people who doesn't have a comic book shop around you, reach out to me. AmazingFantasies.com. You can reach me through there, or just stop in the store someday if you're passing through Topeka, Kansas.